Just picture this. You're cruising down a serene avenue and out of nowhere, a trio of highfalutin individuals begin to hurl all in sync. Now that's a spectacle, isn't it? Visualize a threesome of snobbish socialites, all fancied up, their expressions morphing from surprise to downright horror as their innards revolt in the most unforeseen manner. It's like a symphony of stomach upheaval, a chorus of chunder. 1 minute, they're prancing and prattling, the next they're doubled over, spilling their deepest, darkest secrets onto the concrete. It seems as if they found an unorthodox way to vent, didn't they? It's street spectacle, a regurgitation revelation. And the kicker, they're as taken aback as anyone else. Here they are, believing they're the creme de la creme, the epitome of sophistication, and then wham! Their bodies decide to throw puke party, and the whole neighbourhood's invited. It's a twist of fate that would make even the sternest among us burst into laughter. It's like life decided to give these hotties a reality check, a literal gut punch. Hey, even the high and mighty must let loose sometimes. Don't pity them too much. They're not sick, they're not in pain, they're just experiencing a belly rebellion. And honestly, it's a gentle nudge that no matter how we try to put on airs, our bodies have their own agendas. So let's toast to our hurling trio, our gagging socialites, our retching revellers. Here's to serving us a slice of humble pie, reminding us that life can be unpredictable. And when it does, we just got to roll with it, even if that means rolling in a pool of our own bath. And with that charming image burnt into your memory, we wave goodbye to our unexpected vomit fest. Quite an opening, right? But don't worry, Jane Fitzcostellia, we've got more in store. Let's dive into the world of culinary delights, or should we say, culinary disasters. And remember, when in doubt, just fart it out. Now that we've gotten a hearty laugh from our unexpected vomit party, let's delve into something a bit more gastronomically challenging. We're about to dissect a recipe so unappetizing, it makes the vomit party seem like a 5-star dinner. Let's talk scrumptious muffins. First up, we've got 200 grams of earwax. That's right, folks, earwax. Not exactly a traditional baking ingredient, but then again, this isn't your traditional muffin recipe. Next, we've got 100 grams of diarrhea. I know, not exactly the most appetizing ingredient, but stick with me here. We're just getting started. Next on our list of ingredients is 215 millilitres of sneeze water. I'm not even going to try to explain what that is. Moving on, we have 60 grams of boiled whey, 50 milligrams of cat fur, 4.1 grams of sweat, and 111 millilitres of vomit. Now the method is simple. You just mix the earwax and boiled whey together to form a smelly paste. Then combine all the wet ingredients together and add the dry. Stir until you get a sloppy, smelly mixture, pour it into muffin pans, and bake for 7 minutes at 210 degrees Celsius. But wait, there's more. We're not just serving these muffins plain. Oh no, we're going all out with a special icing. For the icing, you'll need 100 grams of cold whey, half a gram of blood, 11 grams of pubic hair, 100 grams of pimple pus, and 1 child's rationing of snot. Now I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind would eat this? And to that I say exactly. This is not a recipe for the faint of heart or the weak of stomach, but it sure does make for a good laugh, doesn't it? So who's ready for a taste test? Anyone? No takers? Can't say I blame you. Okay, so now that we've tackled the recipe breakdown, let's take a break and introduce you to our crew. The marching band, or as we like to call them, our little family of chaos. At the helm of our band is the one and only Ms. Belle Pum, our Madam Butterfly. In our world, Ms. Belle Pum is always addressed by her full name. She wouldn't have it any other way. Now let's meet Ms. Belle Pum's sister, Hauve. Just like her sister, Hauve is a force to be reckoned with. She's the mother of 3, each more eccentric than the last. First, there's Pole, the male polar bear of the family. Then there's Nuddles, the youngest, a female golden bear with a heart of gold. And last, but not least, there's Zoe, made of candy floss. She's round, has short yellow hair and pigtails, and is as sweet as the candy she's made from. Hauve herself is also round and made of candy floss. It's a real sugar-coated family, folks. Of course, every story has a villain, and ours is no different. Enter Horse Magorse, Ms. Belle Pum's arch-enemy. Always trying to portray us as mischievous and outrageous. He's the goody-two-shoes we all love to hate. And we can't forget about Curtaloo, the mother of Ms. Belle Pum and Hauve. She's so large, she has to be rolled in the door. One day during a fart yoga class, Curtaloo accidentally farted into a man's mouth. The poor man inflated like a balloon and flew away, hollering, "Whee!" all the way. Amidst the chaos, A boy vomited into his hat and put it on his sister's head. She was covered in the vomit and was never able to remove it from her hair. She's now known as Vomit Girl. But hey, that's just another day in the life of our marching band. Stick around, the fun's just getting started. In the middle, we have a special segment for you. As you know, we're all about breaking the norm here. So, in honour of Jane Fitzcostellia, the band is about to perform a rather, unique rendition of a song. Brace yourselves, folks. This is the Fart Symphony. Ready, set, here we go. Oh, Mrs. Jane Joey, no, you cause who vomiting and commenting all over a man who was bald, they sing, their voices echoing through the space. The band members then proceed to, fart in perfect unison, releasing a sound that can only be described as melodious. They continue, their voices rising and falling in harmony, and then the grand finale. Miss Jane Fitzcostellia, we love you, Mississippi Belle Pum worshippers. You all sit the hell down on yo ass and fart in her name, they exclaim, their voices echoing through the room. The room fills with a symphony of, well, farts, as everyone in the band joins in. It's a sight to behold, folks, and a sound that you won't forget anytime soon. Now that was a performance to remember, wouldn't you agree? Now, let's take a trip back to a chilly January night when Miss Belle Pum decided to host a picnic dinner. It was meant to be a jovial gathering, with 69 guests in attendance. But things took a dramatic turn when she realised she had accidentally invited her nemesis, Horse McGorse. In a fit of rage, she decided to play a prank on him and the rest of the guests. She let loose 5 pigs, allowing them to vomit into a pot, pee into glasses, and defecate onto plates. The resulting dishes were served to the unsuspecting guests as soup, drinks, and chocolate pudding. The uproar that followed was something straight out of a horror movie. Guests were vomiting in every direction, creating a symphony of retching noises. A woman even vomited into her own lap, while a man had an unfortunate accident all over another guest. The chaos lasted for a good 20 minutes before Miss Belle Pum finally chased McGorse away, brandishing a cat and a pair of knickers. And that's not all. On another occasion, she tricked a group of children into eating a disgusting concoction, leading to a mass vomiting event that covered 200 innocent bystanders. From a man drinking toilet water in desperation to a woman sneezing uncontrollably into a cake, the pranks pulled off by Miss Belle Pum are truly unforgettable. And let's not forget about the poor man who had a pepper-induced vomiting fit. These are the kind of memories that stick with you, folks, so the next time you're invited to a picnic, you might want to double-check who's hosting it. Let's move on to a rather unsavoury incident that took place at Nuddle's home. Nuddles, a notorious prankster, had invited friends over for a feast. Little did they know, the feast was more of a farce. The centrepiece of the meal was a chocolate cake, but it wasn't your average chocolate cake. No, this one had an unusual ingredient, diarrhea. Yes, you heard that right. And if that wasn't enough, Nuddles had accidentally incorporated an even more distasteful element into the cake. Unbeknownst to her, a woman who had recently suffered a miscarriage had accidentally bled into the cake mix. The resulting dessert was nothing short of a disaster. One woman erupted in a fit of vomiting, her regurgitated meal splattering across the room. Another man, unable to hold his bile down, vomited directly into a woman's face, triggering a chain reaction of vomit. A poor man who had partaken of the cake suffered a severe bout of diarrhea, which unfortunately found its way into his newborn's mouth. The baby, overwhelmed by the taste, vomited with such force it seemed as if it was trying to reach Europe. A pregnant woman who had consumed the cake suffered a horrifying consequence. Her baby developed vomit-like features such as a greenish skin colour and hair that resembled splattered sick. The chaos was complete when Horse McGorse arrived and let out a fart so potent it inflated a man's cheeks like a balloon. Such was the outrageous nature of this feast, and this is just a glimpse into the kind of pranks Nuddles is known for. We'll get into more of those in the coming scenes, so brace yourselves, folks. It's about to get a whole lot messier. Today, we're cooking up a storm with a recipe that's sure to make your stomach churn. It's called scrumptious muffins, but I have to tell you, it's a bit of a misnomer. First up, we've got 200 grams of earwax. Yep, you heard that right, earwax. It's not just for cleaning your ears anymore, folks. This little gem is going to add a certain je ne sais quoi to our muffins. Next, we're adding 100 grams of diarrhea. Now hold on to your lunch because it's about to get even more interesting. We're also going to need 215 milliliters of sneeze water. If you're wondering, what the heck is sneeze water? Well, you're not alone. I think it's best we don't delve too deep into that one. Don't forget 60 grams of boiled wee. Yes, you heard it right, boiled wee. Gourmet cooking at its finest, isn't it? We're also adding 50 milligrams of cat fur for a bit of texture. And to top it all off, we've got 4.1 grams of sweat and 111 milliliters of vomit. Now, the method is simple. You just mix the earwax and boiled wee together to form a smelly paste. Then combine all the wet ingredients together and add the dry. Stir until you get a sloppy, smelly mixture. Pour it into muffin pans and bake for 7 minutes at 210 degrees Celsius. But wait, there's more. We're not just serving these muffins plain. Oh no, we're going all out with a special icing. For the icing, you'll need 100 grams of cold wee, half a gram of blood, 11 grams of pubic hair, 100 grams of pimple pus, and 1 child's rationing of snot. Mix it all together, and you've got yourself the icing on the cake. Or should I say, the muffin. Now I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind would eat this? And to that I say, exactly. This is not a recipe for the faint of heart or the weak of stomach, but it sure does make for a good laugh, doesn't it? So who's ready for a taste test? Anyone? No takers? Can't say I blame you. Now let's switch gears and meet the peculiar crew behind this madness. First up, we have the maestro herself, Miss Belle Pum, or as we like to call her, our Madam Butterfly. Let me tell you, she's as subtle as a trumpet in a library. Now Miss Belle Pum comes with a package deal, her candy floss of a sister, Hauve. Honestly, if you've ever wondered what a cotton candy machine might look like if it came to life, just picture Hauve. Now, Hauve didn't just get her siblings' eccentricity. She also inherited the responsibility of 3 children, each one with their own dash of crazy. There's Pole, the male polar bear. Don't ask why he's named after an Arctic animal, we're still trying to figure that out ourselves. Next we have Nuddles, the female golden bear, and the youngest. And last but not least, Zoe, who's made of candy floss, just like her mother, and has short yellow hair in pigtails. It's like a Dr. Seuss book come to life, isn't it? But what's a family without a nemesis, right? Enter Horse McGorse, the goody two-shoes that everyone loves to hate. He's always trying to paint us as mischievous and outrageous, which is quite ironic, considering his own antics. And of course, we can't forget about the matriarch of this wacky clan, Curtaloo. She's a woman of impressive girth, so much so that they have to roll her through the door. Oh, and did I mention she once farted into a man's mouth during a yoga class? Yeah, that happened. The poor guy inflated like a balloon and went wee all the way home. Lastly, we have Vomit Girl, a poor soul who once had a hat full of vomit placed on her head. The vomit got stuck in her hair, and she's been known as Vomit Girl ever since. Poor thing. But hey, at least she stands out. And that, folks, is our motley crew, each one weirder than the last. And now a song that's sure to be a hit, or at least it'll hit something. Let's take a moment to appreciate the most unconventional and unforgettable character we have in our midst. Our dear Jane Fitzcostellia. Jane. Oh Jane, you are the reason our days are filled with laughter, oddities and a fair amount of vomit. So here we go, a song, an ode, a tribute to you, Jane Fitzcostellia. Clear your throats, folks, it's about to get interesting. Oh, Miss Jane, Joey, no, you cause woo, vomiting and committing all over a man who was bald. Wee midding keki jaha jaha jashahash whoop-a-pup. Oh, the poetry, the subtlety, the sheer audacity of that lyric. We can't help but be moved by these profound words. They say that true art is meant to challenge, to provoke, to stir emotions deep within us. And if that's the case, this song is undoubtedly a masterpiece. But wait, there's more. Brace yourselves, because the second verse is even more staggering. Miss Jane Fitzcostellia, we love you. Miss Belle Pum worshippers, you all sit the hell down on your ass and fart in her name. Ah, the imagery, the passion, the flatulence. This lyric is not just a line, it's a command, a call to action. It's a rallying cry for all those who dare to be different, who dare to be, well, a bit smelly. This song, much like Jane herself, is a tribute to the unconventional, the weird, the downright bizarre. It's a reminder that life is too short to be ordinary, too brief to be boring. And if that means singing about vomit and farts, then so be it. But let's not forget the real hero of this song, the woman who inspired it all, Jane Fitzcostellia. Jane, you are a beacon of oddity in a sea of sameness. Your antics, your quirks, your unapologetic weirdness, they bring joy to our lives in the most unexpected ways. So here's to you, Jane Fitzcostellia. May your days be filled with laughter, your nights with dreams of the bizarre, and your life with the sweet, sweet sound of flatulence. This song is for you, Jane. It's a testament to your spirit, a celebration of your uniqueness, a tribute to your Janeness. Because in a world filled with people trying to fit in, you're not afraid to stand out. Well, that's one for the record books, or maybe the trash can, depending on your taste in music. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit some of the most memorable moments with Ms. Belle Pum and company. First and foremost, let's not forget the time when Ms. Belle Pum organised a picnic dinner in the frigid month of January. Now, this wasn't just any picnic dinner. Oh no, this was a grand affair with 69 guests and friends. But in her grandeur, she accidentally invited her arch-nemesis, Horse Magorse. Now, if you think Miss Belle Pum would let this slide, you're sorely mistaken. She's a woman of action, you see, and she had a plan. She invited a few farm animals, including 5 pigs, to the picnic. And when everyone was settled, Horse Magorse made his grand entrance. Now, this sight was enough to make Miss Belle Pum fit with rage, but she kept her cool, for she had a trick up her sleeve. She had the pigs vomit into a pot and served it as soup. Then they peed into glasses and served it as a drink. And finally, the piece de resistance, she had them poo into plates and served it as chocolate pudding. This was her revenge at Horse Magorse. Now, the guests' reactions were priceless. They were so sick they vomited out of their ears, making a sound akin to the dying wails of a banshee. One lady, in her distress, even vomited into her own, well, let's just say, a place where the sun doesn't shine. A boy vomited up his own appendage. And a man, in a grotesque display of bodily functions, had diarrhea into a woman's mouth, and she vomited into his posterior. This dance of the grotesque continued for 20 long minutes until the woman, unfortunately, perished. It was a sight to behold, a symphony of the grotesque, a veritable carnival of the absurd. But Miss Belle Pum was not done. She chased Horse Magorse up the road with a cat in one hand and a pair of knickers in another. But let's not forget about Miss Belle Pum's family. Her sister Hauve and her children, Pole, the male polar bear, Nuddles, the female golden bear and the youngest, and Zoe, made of candy floss, round and with short yellow hair in pigtails. They're a sight to behold, a family of candy floss and bears, a family that farts in the name of Jane Fitzcostellia. And let's not forget Miss Belle Pum's and Hauve's mother, Curtelou. Now, Curtelou is a woman of considerable size, so much so that she needs to be rolled in the door. One day, during a fart yoga class, she accidentally farted into a man's mouth. He blew up like a balloon and flew away, exclaiming, "Whee!" A boy vomited into his hat and put it on his sick sister's head. She's now known as Vomit Girl. It's a wild ride, this life with Miss Belle Pum and company. It's a life filled with vomit, unusual recipes and a cat in one hand and a pair of knickers in another. It's a life of absurdity, of chaos, of the grotesque. But it's also a life of laughter, of joy, of the unexpected. It's a life that keeps us on our toes, that keeps us guessing, that keeps us coming back for more. So that's our story. A tale of vomit, unusual recipes, and a cat in one hand and a pair of knickers in another. Now, if that doesn't keep you up at night, I don't know what will. Well, folks, we've reached the end of our journey. We've navigated the treacherous waters of vomit parties and the most unappetizing muffin recipe known to man. We've met the Candy Floss family, led by the formidable Miss Belle Pum and her sister Hauve, and their unique brood of bears and flossies. Not forgetting our villain, the goody-two-shoes Horse Magorse, and the rotund Curtelou, who's been known to cause a man to inflate like a balloon with a single fart. Then, of course, we serenaded our dear Jane Fitzcostellia with a tune that will surely stick in your head for days. And finally, we witnessed the grandest of finales, a picnic dinner of epic proportions, with a side of revenge served to Horse Magorse that was frankly hard to stomach. Remember, in the words of our dear Miss Belle Pum, always catch your farts and never invite your enemies to a picnic. Until next time, stay weird.